English. Hey, 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 hey. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Real Talk Straight Talk, surrounded by the ladies. This is the last show of the year. We made it, we made it, we made it. On my left, of course, is Angel from the Fix Hair Salon. On my right is Pastor C. What's up, Pastor C?
I called in. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. I heard you had a hard time getting here.
Yes, but it's okay.
People, she was speeding down the highway, almost got a ticket just to get to do the show. We'll talk about that later. Yeah, I heard you were speeding. Yeah. And Angel said, I called Angel this morning. Angel was like, oh, I'm on my deathbed. I'm on my deathbed. I'm just telling everybody's business. I'm on my deathbed. I don't know if I can do this today. And then here we are. Here's Angel. Everything is good. She's not dying anymore. Thank you for not dying before the show is. Not that I want you to die, of course.
I'm not sure what do we say to these things.
I know. You know what? Like I said, it's the last show of the year. We're going to talk about our favorite shows, our worst shows. People, if there's a show that you saw that you liked, hit us up on the live or call us at 519-694-3429. Let us know about your favorite show. Now, before I go any further, let me do what I sometimes fail to do, and it's not the mannerly thing. So let me get my manners back. First of all, I want to thank our sponsors, starting with the Wien Community Center. They've been with us from the start. Then I'm going to move on to Angel over here, of course. She allows us to use our location, the Fix Hair Salon on Hamilton Street. Then I got to talk, of course, if we're going to talk about locations, Up Like 7. Big shouts to Put in the Barbershop, Clark Road, the other barbershop downtown, you know, United Cuts and Kwame. Got to talk about Paranide Bar and Grill. We would have loved to shoot inside Paranide, and we talked about it a few times, but we couldn't work out the logistics of a Tuesday night because the restaurant and bar is open, so it made it. But one day, we're going to get to shoot there. Big shouts to Jiggy and the crew. I mean, Mr. Adrian and the crew over at Paranide. The ladies of Ollie Commercial Interior Design. It looks like I'm getting everybody, tonight. Got to go to the 613, Mr. Brooks. Rhythm Movements Community Association. And I always say Mr. Brooks, right? But, you know, I got to say a big shout out to Ashley out there in Ottawa, part of the Rhythm Movements. And she's like the Rhythm Movements right-hand person, because I know Brooks right now is in Jamaica somewhere talking about, oh, he can't come back because of this COVID stuff or whatever. Just an excuse so he can spend some extra time in Jamaica.
You're really spilling everybody's
yeah, man, I'm on everybody tonight. It's the last show. Ain't nobody can do that to me, right? So he's out there doing whatever, right? Leave Ashley to hold down the fort. Big shouts once again to Rhythm Movements Community Association. Last but not least, let me talk about Big John. Got a conversation with Big John today. He was like, yo, I'm taking over the world in 2022. What can I say? Soul Kitchen Radio. They've also been with us from the start. The #1 reggae music station in Canada, right? And I'm going to say the way the man is talking and the mission he's on, it's going to be worldwide. Soul Kitchen Radio. Now, got everybody that I can think of out of the way. Oh, no, you know who I forgot? Got to send a big shout out to Richards. Richards. We got a special project. Richards came on board. Richards Men's Fashion, right? And they're on York Street, right down by the where the plaza with the liquor store and all that, right? So big shouts to Richards, right? Did I forget anybody? No, I didn't. First time ever that I didn't forget anybody.
A camera crew.
Oh, our camera crew.
Yeah.
Since this is the last show of the year, we got to big up everybody. Oh, let's not even go anywhere before. Let's start, Team EVO MM3, Team Evo, right? Then I got to start with Michelle. Got to get to my camera guy, been with us all the time, Big T. Never wants to show his face on the camera, but big shouts to Big T. Crucial member, lives in Toronto, goes by the name of, man, I don't even know what his name is. We used to have a nickname for him, but I'm not going to call it. His name is Dejan Antoine. Dejan Antoine does all our website designs, does a whole bunch of stuff for us. Can't leave him out, right? So now, and of course tonight, special camera person, got hauled into action in the last minute, Miss Ashley McGuire. So it's like mother and son on doing the tech tonight, right? All right, so big shouts to the camera crew. Didn't miss anybody. People, once again, what's your favorite show? Hit me up, 519-694-3429. I said that fast, I'm gonna slow it down. 519-694-3429. I know Tammy's gonna come on. Tammy, give us like 5 minutes and you know what? Come on and we're gonna talk about our favorite shows. Now, ladies, who's going first? Anybody have a favorite show? Anybody had a controversial show?
I really loved the show last week, though.
Last week. Woo!
Was that it? That was a fire show. Was that the one?
Oh yes, people, recap of last week. Last week we started on the Christmas myth, the paganism where Christmas started.
Yeah.
Then we got into maybe we should leave it alone because it represents something good. And then Ivani said, nah, it started off in a pagan way. And oh man, he's sick tonight, he couldn't be here. But big shouts to Professor Omar, one of our regulars. So many regulars that we're gonna talk about, right? I don't have a clip of last week, and I should have, but that's the one clip that's missing. But let me tell you, cat fight here, wow, ooh, wow.
There's no cats on it.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Oh, I'm sorry. If it was men, we'd call it big dog fight in here last week, right? You had to have your boxing gloves, right? I had to get in the middle. I had to jump in. Hold on, I still got a scratch somewhere.
Oh my.
If I recall, you was hiding behind the desk.
Well, that's because I was getting ready to jump in and save the day, right?
Yeah.
If I was standing right here, then I would have to be subdued and stuff. But I was behind there just so I could save the day in case somebody said something and did something, and I had to, come in and do some, that little ha, hey, yeah, I'm feeling it tonight.
You missed your calling. You missed your calling.
What do you mean by that?
I'm not sure, but we will figure
What do you
that out
say?
by the end of this.
After the
Yes.
Kung Fu superstar, is that what you're trying?
Nope.
What?
Yeah.
All right, you know what? I'm not even listening to you tonight. I know what my calling is. Yeah, I got the, yeah. I'm like the kid that grew up on Kung Fu movies and stuff, right? Way back in the day.
So you're the kind who watched the movie and then you went and practiced everything after.
People, I watched that movie, and the minute I got out of the theater, right, I was like,
You were Bruce Lee.
Bruce who? Bruce, forget Bruce. Back in the day, it was all about the Wang Yu and the Chen Sing and all these other Chinese guys that nobody ever heard of, right?
No
So
way.
all my people from the islands, and I'm talking Guyana and Jamaica, that grew up on Kung Fu movies in like the 80s and know about Wang Yu and Chen Sing and all those guys. And actually, Jackie Chan was before Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
And Jackie Chan had a movie called Drunken, all kind of stuff. Yeah, anyway, that's my Kung Fu stuff. Let's get back to the show last week where I had to pull out my Kung Fu to fight everybody. What were your views on the show last week, Pastor Charmaine? Why are we laughing? I'll be very serious. What were your views on the show last week?
There's a lot of views. But yeah, it was a good show.
No, I want to hear. No. I don't want to hear about good show. Give me something. Did you agree with the
Yes, I did agree that Christmas is, as I said, it's a pagan holiday, but it has done some good for the Christianity, because out of bad comes the good, and the good was that now people know about the birth of Christ. Mm-hmm. People know what Christ represents, and that's the take that I have taken from it, is that although we know that it came out of a pagan holiday, we are able now to a lot of people know about Jesus. They know about Jesus' birth. They know what Jesus represents. And that's the most important thing for me in this season. And I'm so sorry, Colin, I did not give you the fire that you needed.
Man, so diplomatic, so diplomatic. People, so many truths we found out last week. First of all, there was no animals involved, right? The story. There was no animals involved. There was no kings, right? There were no kings involved, right? it was wise men, right? You know, that's the king's, like the king's bottom guy. Yo, go out there, go to the stable out there, and somebody's being born, right? But they turned it into that, you know. So there was no kings, right? The professor was so eloquent in letting us, and you know, Evody touched on some stuff, and the professor backed her up into all the myths, right? Then we came into Black Jesus. Woo! No, I got that wrong. It's my thinking out loud. Not Black Jesus, but the fact that because of where you know, where it's located, not only the conversation, the geographical area in which he was born, there was a good chance that Jesus was not pure white, but a little darker. Yeah, olive, you know. But me now, because of years of being thought of white Jesus, I took olive to be, yeah, look at this. This is my olive right here, right? So don't worry, people, it's only for today. So anybody that agrees with me on Black Jesus, hit me up. If you don't agree, that's fine, because, you know, like you said, it's olive, right? So we'll stay with that. Angel, talk to me about the conversation last week. Got 1 minute.
Laugh, Angel, your minute will be up.
Oh, it was amazing. I loved what Evody touched on, and just like that lesson in its own was really good. But I still stick to my Christmas. I still stick to the nativity story being for the kids, and it's still going to be a story that's fun to tell, and it's still going to be a story that's going to encourage people to love Christmas. So yeah, I mean, like you said, it was like a cat fight.
But hold on, I got something for you. Pastor C, Christmas Diary. Hold on, we got something coming up. Pastor C, Christmas Diary. So people, we actually got a clip, right? And this is Pastor C. Yeah, you got to. Can I get that clip to roll, please? Can we get the clip? So we got Pastor C last week. I said, like, we got some clips tonight. We're gonna go back to some of our favorite shows. Let me see if we can catch this clip. Oh, it's coming. Yes. Yeah, just people. Yeah, we're getting ready to show the clip from last week. Also, is it running? Yeah. Okay, we're having a little trouble showing the clip. We're going to show the clip in a second. But once again, it's about last week, and it is the pagan Christmas kind of holidays, right? So I'm going to let Angel continue on that until we get this clip going.
Oh, my minute was done, Cole.
Oh, your minute was
And I don't have a second more.
You don't have a second more. Well, all right.
We
So,
leave that to you.
what do you think this is? You think this is you think this is like my show or something like that? I thought this was we can't get that clip? Okay.
Oh,
so
thank you, Lord.
Oh man.
Thank you, Lord. The Lord is God.
People, I wanted to see that clip so badly. So
now I can talk. I have a lot of minutes now.
Okay. So I got a list of clips here that we're supposed to be looking at, right? Okay. I want to go back to one of our favorite shows, and I call it Have You Decided to Vote with Mark Embry?
Oh, my.
So can you find a September 14 clip for me? People, our favorite party of all time is the PPC party. Yeah, it's going to work. It's going to work. Yeah. So hang on. Our favorite party of all time is the PPC party. And the reason I say that, because they were the only party that decided that they were going to accept our invitation and come on our show. So I'm going to let Angel talk about it, because Angel was like the peacemaker when the war broke out. And she was so nice and soft. I have a point. Meanwhile, everybody's trying to fight. What do you remember about that show?
Well, that show was actually very nice because, like, reaching out to the PC party and just talking to Mark himself and saying, "Oh, come on the show." He was hyped about it and he was excited to come, and it was nice that he actually did come, and like that was fire because it's like everyone had an opinion about what they and also just it being the PC party, everyone had their opinion about that. So it was really nice that he came and said what he had to say. And that was another fire show because there's a lot of things that were like touching on some aspects of the black race that we didn't want to hear.
Yeah.
And then we're like, okay, no, you're not going to say this on the show. But it was good that we did. And by the end of it all, like, I liked the second part of it.
Yeah.
That came and he had the other part. His other party member who was able to really like talk about his party. Because I felt like Mark was more kind of advertising more of what he does.
Yeah, I hear.
So it was good though. I liked that show. It was amazing.
All right, people, let me get back to Mark. So Mark basically came on and said, immigrants go back to where you come. We don't want no more immigrants, right? Mark talked about, I think there's a part in the clip where he goes, I've been arrested 39 times because I've been protesting. And I've been protesting so everybody can smoke weed. Or no, not everybody can smoke weed. Everybody can get the right to smoke weed. Yeah. That's about the only thing that, not that I, you know, but just the only thing I agreed with, kind of like, yes, you protested, right? He left out the part in there that he might have also been arrested for selling some of the stuff, right? So, you know what? Michelle, today we're having the discussion about, okay, you know, this is going to be one of the clips. And she was like, I wouldn't be proud to say that I was arrested 39 times, right? Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah and no, and this is the part where, yes, he was protesting, so I admire the protest. Yeah. If I was arrested 39 times for protesting, yeah, I'd be like, yeah, you know what, I got arrested 39 times for protesting. That's some
dedication right there.
That's some dedication, right?
Yeah.
The other times, though, the times that we can't get down with was the times where he's actually, okay, I'm going to take on the government by selling the stuff. Do we have this clip ready? Is the clip ready? All right. Camera guy, Mr. Technician, sir, Big T, can you please run the clip and show, and don't forget to put the mic on the clip too. Got a clip.
And I think your whole approach is wrong.
and that's why it's called...
First of all, you're operating under a lot of false assumptions.
Yes.
You think there's a difference between the Conservatives, Liberals, NDP, and Greens. There's no difference. I don't even know if you could tell me a difference. Their only difference is the amount of money they want to throw at any given problem.
Okay.
But that's all they do. They throw money at what they perceive as problems. And usually these are problems created by the government themselves. Individuals tend to try and solve their problems, but
right. So people, that was Mark Emery, right? And we called that the fire time because he'd started to get excited. Part of the reason he got excited was because he said we made him wait for half the show, right? So
he didn't have enough time.
He thought that he thought he didn't have enough time. So when he came on, he was all pumped. He was like, "Oh, you guys are talking all kinds of stuff." And then at one point, he actually said, "All four parties are talking nonsense." And I'm thinking to myself, if all four parties are talking nonsense, why are you running for one of the parties, right? But you know what, like you said, his partner in the second show answered it. So that was one of our one of the shows that we liked just because of the fire it came, right? And Professor once again handled himself well. You know, he's always there with his
notes and information. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Right. There is a show. You know what? There is a show. We're going to get back to politics in a little bit because another one of our guests was Matthias. I don't know who was with me when Matthias came on the show, and we'll see who was with me. We've got the ladies, which is your ladies, right?
Oh, yes.
You know what? I'm going to talk, because let me talk about the ladies for a minute. Can we look up the clip for November 23rd, the ladies, and I'll let you explain what November 23rd was and how the show came about.
Yeah. So November 23rd, that was the
HIV,
HIV show. It was more a show to raise awareness in the community about AIDS, and they also did a survey, which was really good, like just to understand, like it was like a women's group meeting, and they were doing like surveys just to find out like how best the community can serve people of color, and what it is that can be put or implemented to make people more comfortable with certain situations, and what resources need to be put out there. So it was a good thing. I mean, the show itself was good because we had Wimbai and Mercy come on, and they kind of explained to us what it was, and how to get tested. It's nothing to be ashamed for. There's nothing to be ashamed of. It's better to know, because once you know if you have it or you don't, you can prepare yourself, like make better health choices and all that stuff. So it was a good show, because when we ended up having the event here at the salon, there were a few people who got tested, and it was really good. They got information. We had so much fun, and so yeah, it was. Pastor Tremaine came. It was really nice.
Hold on, she came.
Yeah,
you didn't even tell. You didn't even say you came.
No, I did. Yeah, I did, and you know,
the turnout was really good.
Yeah, it was a good turnout, and you know, it was. We were able to get answers to questions that, as you said, myths that we weren't sure about, and proper answers. So we you know, it was nice. It was nice to be here.
Yeah.
Okay, one question. You touched on Wimbai and
Mercy, and
where they tell us.
So yes, they represent the Options. Gosh, you're putting me on the spot. Options Clinic, and also the HIV and HIV. Gosh, give me a second.
London Health Side. That's where I wanted you to go with it.
Yes. So it was. They all came in. And they represent the companies, the London, the Middlesex HIV and AIDS unit, which was really good to have them actually want to do something with us. That was amazing, and for them to also send someone to our show and represent the Black community. Was amazing.
Yeah. I think one of the things that I remember about the show was that the percentages, right? And I'm going to talk about this. 13% of all new transmissions that have been detected are in the Black community in Ontario.
Yeah.
Now, putting that in perspective, we do not make 13% of the population in Ontario, but yet still 13% of all new detected transmissions comes from the Black community. So that's right. So that's one of the reasons that the show came about. It's to raise awareness, because it's like so many things have come up, and HIV and AIDS is not a subject that's talked about anymore.
No.
So some people think it's actually gone, right? Kind of like out of sight, out of mind, but it's not gone, it's still around, right? Of course, what it is that you do not get AIDS as much anymore, because you will get HIV, but the AIDS aspect of it, it's not cured, but it's more controlled.
That's true.
And because of that, so it looks like, oh, there's no danger, everything is all right. But people, your health is never, there's nothing ever to joke about and say something is controlled. So the more information you have, it's the better off for you.
And it was good because they touched on living positively with HIV,
Yes.
Yeah.
with the options of PAP and PrEP. So it's like you're not going to die from it. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, depending really, it's like you're going to be able to actually prepare yourself and there's not a cure, but at least there's a remedy to I mean,
longer life,
longer
yeah.
life,
Longer
you
life,
know.
yeah.
So it's not something to be afraid of anymore. So that's why it's best to get tested. The Options Clinic is always available for that, and you could reach out to Wimbai Mananyara Chuku, and she's at the Options Clinic, and everything is confidential and as well. So it's good to just know your status.
And since we're there talking about health, I'm going to touch on, and we're talking specifically on sexual health, right? I'm going to touch on relationships, right? There was an August 10th show where Lisa, big shouts to Lisa. I talked to her today. She's going to be back with us on our very first show in January. People, we've got the first 3 weeks in January off. We're back on January 18th with our very first show. Lisa's coming back. Look at, can you get me that clip? It's August 10th, Lisa on relationships. So we got some relationship advice. Anybody's going through a little relationship troubles, Lisa's talking about her relationship and how she goes about stuff. That's our August 10th show. And this is Lisa on our relationships. Hold on, yeah, we get it. Lisa, if you're listening, hey, what's up, girl? I know I talked to you today. You can also call in. I know Tammy. I'm gonna get you to call in as soon as this clip is done. So Tammy, if you're listening, 519-694-3429. I did send you. Run the clip.
He's understanding, but what I actually really learned about him, he's my go-to person.
Yes.
Any situation that I'm in or any problems that come in or somebody I just needed to talk to, even though I do have my friends, my good friends that I can talk to, but he's the go-to.
Real quick, yeah, that was our girl Lisa, right? Relationship advice. Got the ladies. Ladies, give me your best relationship advice for 2021. You know what? 2021 is going out the door. Hold on. The camera person is laughing. She's like, ha, 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 ha. Oh, man, I'm busting everybody laughing. Oh, relationship is good now, so she got advice to give people. All right, I hear you. Oh, I ain't even hold. Please, hey. Don't make any comments like that somebody can take from this show and attribute to me, right? So, relationship advice for I'm gonna go. Pastor C is like, oh man, me and the Father, we're one. That's my relationship right there, right? I'm not even going. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Relationship advice. I'm going to come over here to the fish. People, this is Angel Fish. Catch her on Facebook. She gives the best relationship stuff in the morning. Not relationship stuff. She gives the best advice in the morning. So when you get up in the morning, you know what I'm gonna say? Give her take an hour or two. Head on Facebook. Look for Angel Fish, and you're gonna see a picture, and you're gonna hear some positive, truly positive comment, right? So, what positive comments do you have on relationships, or?
Well.
Yeah.
Relationships, I mean, I feel relationships are a personal thing, as we all know, and I just feel that when it comes to a relationship, it's about what you want in the relationship and what you're willing to do for your relationship and what you're not willing to do. So I know it's like a convoluted way of saying it, but in a relationship, don't be waiting for everybody else to tell you what to do and what's right and what's wrong. You know what you want, and you know, like, because when we end up just waiting for everybody to tell us, oh, do this or do that, at the end of the day, we're never gonna really live our own truth.
Well, suppose I'm the type of person that needs to be bossed around. Not really me, but suppose you know. Let me talk. Yeah.
Suppose being bossed around. I see that.
Hey.
No, I mean, like, there's some people who do like being bossed around, and so yeah, go get bossed around. But then I just feel like your relationship, you should take control and take charge of what you want in your life. And when it comes to relationship, I mean, this is the only relationship advice I can give to people in bad relationships is if it's bad,
get out.
Get out.
Run.
You're not waiting or doing anything good for your kids. And don't ever use the kids as an excuse. Say like, oh, I'm staying in this for my kids, or I'm staying for this, or I'm staying for my family. Trust me. All those reasons are the wrong reasons. So always, I feel there's this quote about, it says fly, first love yourself. So yeah, fly, first love yourself. And when you put yourself first, everything else falls in place.
Yes.
Nice.
And whoever else will love you because you love yourself. Yeah. But if you are needy and you then they're just going to walk over you. So first love yourself and know what you want, and then boom. Yeah, it's easier said than done.
I hear you.
But it's worth putting in the time to try and invest in yourself, love yourself, and then after that,
whatever happens, happens.
Whatever happens, happens.
Right.
And God first.
Yes.
In every relationship.
And on that note, I'm gonna go over to my right. Yeah.
You know,
Pastor C. Pastor C.
And as Angel says, God first. When you know yourself and you know who you are, because you have to know yourself first.
Yeah.
Because you can't be in a relationship and don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Because you're setting up yourself to fail.
That's it.
So you have to know, as she said, what you like, what you don't like, because nobody can read your mind.
Yeah.
You must know what you're willing to accept in a relationship, and what are your standards. What is the deal breakers that are in your relationship?
Yes.
And communication is the key.
True.
Because sometimes we think that people can read our minds, and they don't. And we need to be constantly communicating in a relationship. Relationship breaks down when we do not communicate. And as I said, we have to know who we are and what we need. And the other thing that I think that in a relationship that is important is to be honest.
True.
Because sometimes we mimic the other person. So as an example, say if I met Colin and I wanted to be in a relationship, whatever Colin says he wants in a relationship, I am not truthful to say these are not the things I want. So I mimic what Colin wants. And then when I get Colin, or when Colin gets in the relationship with me, Colin is realizing that, my God, this is not what I bought it.
Yeah, kick her out.
And he's running for the hills. And he's wondering, what did I buy? And we have a saying in Jamaica, we call it puss in the bag. Because you bought something in a bag and you don't know what it is. It's a grab bag.
People,
so
pull out the size 12 and if the wrong thing is in the bag, just boop, boop, boop.
So we need to be really honest, and if we really don't know who we are, maybe it's not best to go into a relationship. Maybe take some time out to find who you are. And I like what you said. Do not stay in a bad relationship and use the kids as the hostage, because you're damaging the kids. It's best to be on your own. It's best to be single. And we know some women are uncomfortable being single. So we need to realize we have to find our self-worth. We have to be comfortable with ourselves first before we can be comfortable with others.
Right, well said, well said, well said. Now, let me see here, on October 12th, we were at Up Like 7, and I believe it was us with Evodi and her mom.
Yeah.
And we touched on another aspect of relationships. We talked about this is a clip on the broken home. And it was what I consider our most emotional show. I saw people, and we had a small amount of people in the barbershop, right? And people were in tears because Evodi and her mom they had a relationship that wasn't what it should be, but they were able to talk through some stuff. We got somebody on the line. Answer the phone. Let's get to the phones.
It's Tammy.
Tammy.
Oh my goodness gracious, people! Hold on. You got to turn that up. You got to turn it up. Hi, Tammy.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
People, Tammy hasn't been on the show. Tammy hasn't been on the show for a while, and the reason is that she was pregnant. Well, if you saw the show, because if you saw Tammy very exposed.
I was a balloon.
Right?
Say it.
Balloon,
It's okay.
Right? The last show she did, she was actually sitting in this spot right here, and she could only turn to one way because, you know, baby was like, yo, out here, and she was worried about her figure. All right?
Yes. I feel like cute all the time.
Yeah, I hear you. So, tell us the news. Give us the news.
I had a baby.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Name?
Thank you. Josiah.
All right.
Wow, Josiah, beautiful name.
How old?
How old?
He's now 3 weeks officially.
Yeah, we're getting the whole information here. She's got a baby 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
So this is, this is a new addition to the Real Talk, Straight Talk family. So in 16 years, when Josiah's like 16 years and 3 weeks, he's gonna be hosting the show, right? That's what I'm talking about. Well, this is the future.
That's if
of
I'm
Real
still
Talk,
in
Straight
London.
Talk, right?
If I'm still in London, sure.
Yeah.
When you coming back on the show?
When my belly is flat.
when it's I'm not even going there.
I may make an appearance to see how the kid behaves. Right now he's nursing, so it takes time for that. It's time consuming. So if he can last longer,
Yeah.
then even better for me.
All right. Well, we come back in January, right?
Yeah,
January
next
18th
week.
to be exact, right? And Lisa's gonna be on, right?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I think it should be a reunion because you came about because of Lisa,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
That's how you
And put a
first
note
came.
for the record, because we black, last minute.
Yeah, why you gotta go there like that?
I'm just saying, straight talk,
because I'm
real talk,
busting
straight
everybody
talk.
tonight. Everybody, you gotta come back on my business.
Let the world know.
What kind of thing that?
We still in 2021. We'll start first 2022.
Yeah, 2022. No. You know what? It was last minute. Why was it last minute? Because someone. Anyway. Yeah.
What that's all about.
Hey, that's my special English not to be decoded. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm all about my people, so I came true.
Yeah, all right.
Hashtag reliable.
So you think you're gonna be ready for January 18th?
If I stop eating from today, yes.
Hold on. So, all right. So I guess if you come on the 18th, it can only. What are you trying to say? Only headshots?
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Oh.
But I still have to lose weight in my face because the camera adds 10 pounds. So
Whoa.
I may have to come in there for a haircut, girl.
All right. Hey, because we're gonna touch on it at the end of the show. I was gonna talk any resolutions, any New Year's resolutions.
I already started mine. I got rid of dead weight.
Oi. Can I get to ask what yeah, yeah. Inquiring minds want to know what is considered dead weight.
Should I sing it? Family, we say family.
Oh, gee, she got rid of some family. All right, all right.
So it's, I don't know why. I'm going to get into it.
Whoa.
So you know how when people say blood is thicker than water? That's
Yes.
not always the case.
Yeah.
I find the water, aka friends, are better than blood. And I notice that, and I see it a lot in our community, that no matter what happens to us, whether family hurts us or disrespects us, we still stick around for whatever reason.
All
And we're
right.
never told to like stand up for yourself, but everybody else, we're not allowed to have disrespect us, but our own family can continue doing it over and over again.
Okay.
That being said, I've had a few family members who've attempted that and have now been blocked out of my life so I can start the new year fresh.
What do you say? Block and delete.
Block and delete.
Block and delete.
I told everybody my piece. I've told everybody I'm not standing for this. I wish you all the best. May the odds forever be in your favor, and we're done.
All right, all right, all right. Oh, man. I call her a terrorist, right? Because she's just a terrorist, but block
But
and delete, I love
I
it.
really love what she said there. Like,
Yeah.
the dead weight, the branches have to go, man. It's like they weigh on the tree, and it's like, it's just, because sometimes you carry on all this weight, and you keep trying to do this, and it all goes down to what's serving you.
Yeah, all right.
Did you not pay your phone bill?
Oh, did you just say that on? Did you just say that on live? If I paid my phone bill.
Call it.
Well, somebody disconnected on me,
We
and
are
I got
very
all my bars.
We're a very upstanding and upright company. We pay all our bills, okay?
And I just got disconnected for the record. Real talk, straight talk.
And the disconnection wasn't because we didn't pay the bill, okay? me and Fido, we good friends at least for another 10 days.
Okay.
least 10 days, right? Maybe that's why the show is going on. That's why the show is off for 3 weeks.
Oh,
Oh man.
I miss you guys.
Yes.
Yes, we miss you too.
Yeah,
Everybody but Colin.
You know we miss you on the show. We can't wait to get you back on we're actually gonna try for January 18th to see what kind of position you're in and how the kid, you know what I mean? But
Oh, I'm dead serious about the weight.
I
Dead,
hear you.
dead.
But you know what? You know we tried to get you on the Zoom tonight and we weren't able to make that connection. We are gonna move. We are gonna be bringing people on by Zoom or whatever other outlet there is.
Medium.
Yeah, media outlet there is. We will have that sorted out. So, you know what? If you can't make it in person on January the 18th, we definitely will have the Zoom and everything else sorted out. So it'll be part of our normal setup. Because you know what? Like I said, if we're going to start off and we're bringing Lisa back, we're bringing you back at the same time, right?
Okay, okay. And if anybody's into the New Year's resolution where they're losing weight and they have any sort of magic pill, hook your girl up.
Oh man, that's what I like about that. She don't joke; she just says it. And you know,
We should do like a
same way.
30-day
Lisa's a
challenge.
pure fire.
We should do a 30-day challenge, ladies.
All right, all right,
Oh,
all right. So you ladies are gonna go in on some 30-day challenge. Oh,
I got you, girl. We're on it.
we're on it.
Okay.
We're on it. We're on a
You
30-day
never told me in
challenge.
our mind. We're on it.
I'm going the other way with the 30-day challenge, right? I'm looking to gain like 4 ounces, right?
4 ounces.
What? You know what 4 ounces would do to me? I'd be big. I'd walk around like, yo, who's bigger than me? Who's bigger than me? Yeah. And I already got the pose, so you can see I've been working on it, right? So my 30-day challenge is 4 to 6 ounces, and I'll be jacked, right? You're gonna have to call the drug enforcement agency to check and see if I'm on steroids
Ounces is
and all
nothing.
that
You need
stuff.
pounds.
right?
Or kilograms?
Who? What did you
Kilograms.
just say?
A kilogram of
4
bacon.
kilograms.
I'm sorry, I don't speak English. I don't speak that kind of English. I don't speak.
The baby drinks 5 ounces. Like, really?
Yes.
Where are you going with 4?
Oh wow. Hey, I'm aiming high, okay? Leave me my 4-ounce aim high, right? Why are you rolling eyes at me like that? What? Somebody can't aim high and be 4 ounces? Come on
Of
now.
course you can.
Nice.
Yeah. You know, I'm getting some eyes here in the studio and it's not right. Okay?
I'm just rubbing my eyes.
Oh, is that what it is? I work with her. Maybe about rubbing eyes. Yeah, hold on. The rubbing the eyes came after I said, well, what do? You roll your eyes, and then all of a sudden I saw this kind of movement. I'm sorry, you did it after, so I know you was directing it at me, okay? And you know me, sometimes I get up in my feelings, so
You're sensitive. Do you need a hug?
Huh?
I'm sending you a virtual hug.
Yes.
Oh, gee, yeah. That, you know, I'll take it. I'll take it.
You gotta accept it. You gotta like.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Oh, yeah.
You gotta take it.
All
You gotta
right.
take it.
I'm gonna get tired. Hey, girl, thank you. I gotta roll this clip on.
Yep.
I'm gonna roll a clip. I will talk later.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
Tammy.
Bye, Tammy. Congrats.
Enjoy the baby.
Thank you.
I want you to roll the clip for me for October 12th. As we were talking before, that was one of our show. That was our most emotional show,
Yeah.
where people that are actually in the room, right, felt the vibes, and it was so nice to see the start of a the start of the process, right?
Yeah.
They talked some stuff, and it was just nice. They came to the studio a couple days later and did some taping for her mom, and that was beautiful itself too. So big shouts to Ivodi, right?
Yeah.
Big shouts to her mom, Maria. You know, Ivodi is one of our regulars, so she'll be back in January as well. We got the clip? All right, roll the clip, sir. Relationships, family and relationships.
I work with young immigrant women, and this organization is based on to advocate, support, and connect. So the purpose of the organization is to kind of bridge the gap between immigrant parents and their children. We find that a lot of young immigrant people are coming to Canada and they are losing their children because there's a gap in the between. So my goal is to bridge that gap.
One take on relationships, and like I said, that was our October 12th show. There was Ivodi's mom, Maria, and that was the first process. Now I'm going to get to another clip as we continue on the experiences. This one actually happened at upstairs from us. Ollie, the ladies from the interior design allowed us to use their studio, and we had the biracial experience. And if we're going to talk about biracial experience, it's just funny that that clip and Ashley is here because she was on that show as well, right? But this is the mother and daughter experience, and they were talking about, the mom was talking about how people should be perceived and what she wants, right? So this is a clip from our November 2nd show, Biracial Experience. And yeah, roll the clip, please.
What people first judge you on, right?
Yeah.
So the features are more black, then you're more black, then, or so.
How is, Kendra, let me get back to you for a minute. How is you not being able to identify with either? How has that influenced your choices? Do you find yourself leaning to one as opposed to the other? Have you been able to walk down the middle, or?
Like, I mean, I kind of just want to be myself.
Follow that up. I want you to run Q real quick. Once again, the biracial experience. The run Q. Q is Q Kwame from United Cuts, and he's been, like I said, we're fortunate to have him on the show. Run that clip real quick, and this is the biracial experience. This is Q's he's got biracial kids, and he's talking about some of the stuff that they actually been through. So let's get to that clip.
In London, it's extremely difficult because it's a city that sort of lacks, well, has been lacking in the culture and the experience on both sides for a child coming up, where they can get the Caribbean Canadian experience or the African Canadian experience along with the European Canadian experience as well. So that brings its challenge within itself.
All right. So once again, that was Q, and he was talking about experiences here in London, Ontario, that his kids went through. I was also, for once, I was not just a host, I was like a participant in the show because my kids are biracial. Yeah. Their mom came on the show. We talked about some of the issues that biracial kids face. And it all depends on the color of the kid, because in the first clip that we showed, the daughter was closer to white, right? And her experiences were a little bit different, right? But at the same time, her experiences were people would always come up to her and ask her, what are you? And she just kind of got tired of being, what are you? Exactly. Right? And in Kwame's case and in my son's case, a little darker, and they've had people that, there are things that were done to them and things that people have said to them, right? Yeah. And so different experiences, right? And that was another one of our emotional experiences, right? Because how can parents not talk about that stuff and get emotional, right? Something's happening to your kids, right? So, and you don't know what to do. We also touch on the aspect of what do you teach your kids? Are the parents teaching about both sides, right? Because if you're biracial, that means there's two sides. So we touched on that. Oh my goodness, there's so much that I wanted to get to. I've got one more clip, and this clip is important. And this last clip is the Community Connect clip. And the Community Connect is a series that was started by Pastor Thomas from the Ween Community Center. Big shouts to the Ween Community Center, London's first black community center. And one of the things she was able to do was she got the London Police Services to come and do a podcast with us, right? Now, whether you're in London, whether you're in Toronto, one of the biggest issues was always carding, right? And so she took them to task, right? So we've got this clip, and I believe this clip is Pastor Thomas, and she's just about to introduce, I think it's the Deputy Chief of Police and Black Sergeant, and they're gonna, so can we get that clip, please? Thank you.
And I thank you for that as well. Thank you both for coming today.
Great, thank you. Thanks for having us.
So to get started where we left off, I'm going to ask this question again.
Absolutely.
And this is regarding the carding. Is carding still a procedure that is being used by the London Police? If yes, what does it entail? If no, has it been eliminated or replaced with something similar?
Right. Well, I'm glad you asked, and I'm glad we're going to revisit this topic.
Yes.
Because it's a topic that, quite frankly, leads to a lot of questions and uncertainty, and I think that leads to some of that disconnect that you talked about, right? So I think what's important is that we really know what isn't a street check, right? Because this is quite often people will say, hey, the cops pulled me over, and they asked me for my ID, and I was carded. Yes. And that isn't necessarily the case.
All right. So once again, that was Community Connect with Pastor Thomas and the Deputy Chief of Police discussing, that first part of that discussion was on carding and what it entails and what it is. And I think what he said was what it is and what it isn't. So many clips. We've got one more clip that we're going to share, and I'm not going to get to it yet, but I want you to cue it up. It's the August 10th clip, and this is a funny clip, right? But before we get to it, for anybody that wants to see these shows, Real Talk, Straight Talk, these is posted on YouTube. So all these shows are there. The clips from the clips from these shows are shows that are actually on the YouTube channel. You know, please feel free, go back, listen to some of the conversations, right? You don't have to listen to the whole thing. Listen to some of the conversations. There's some beautiful conversations. I want to thank Angel. I want to thank Pastor C. There's so many other people that I want to thank. We had a show that we didn't show a clip, and I think I'm going to actually get back and show clips on January the 18th. And the show was Islamophobia, homophobia, racism, and I think there's one that I'm missing, Islamophobia, homophobia, racism, but we'll leave it like that. And that was in relation to the tragedy that happened in London, Ontario, where the family was run over. Now, one of our guests, Pat Robinson, had a brother, Patrice Robinson, I should say, had a brother that was run over like 20 years ago in London, Ontario. We touched on that. Then we also touched on, one of our guests was Stephen D'Amelio. Stephen they were part of the Pride Committee. He talked on being black and also being part of the LGBTQ community. And one of the things he said was the most racism he ever encountered was when he took on the role of being president of the festival, Pride Festival London, right? Wow. So so many sensitive topics, right? And topics that we're not afraid to get into. I'm going to talk for a quick second on the LGBTQ community, because in our black communities, and like I said, communities, because we're not just one black community, they've always been ostracized, right? I touched on my experiences in Jamaica and the maturity and where I had to get to you know, so now I'm sitting at the table, and it's one of the things I said, my job is not to talk about your sexuality. That's between you and the Father and whatever your beliefs are. My job, not even my job, me as a human being is trying to let another human being live. So I'm not going to persecute or prosecute anybody, right? I'm not here to judge anybody, because I remember experiences I had coming to Canada. I've had my personal issues involving racism, right, against me. So then I think that was the start of an eye-opener. So who am I to now go out and judge and then hold another person back, right? Any quick thoughts on that?
No, I do agree with you. A person's sexuality is their personal, but we are called to love each other no matter who we are. We are human beings, and human beings show compassion. That's all we need to do, is to love and show compassion to each other.
And I think somebody brought it up in a biblical sense, and I remember saying, well, there's the Old Testament which said an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, and the New Testament which with Christ it said, love, don't judge, love everybody, because if you remember how Christ was, he went around everybody, the prostitutes and everybody, so he accepted. Yeah. So I guess when you're looking in a biblical sense, if you're going to talk about a biblical sense, it's which part of the Bible are you going to choose, right?
Yeah, and when you look at the biblical sense of it, it's the biggest commandment is love. This is my commandment, that you love one another, so your joy may be filled. Yeah. So that's like, I know it's a touchy subject that, there's all this, but when you just show love and just accept people for who they are, like, honestly, there's so many things that we on the outside, we're like looking at people doing certain things. If we go back into time, we would go back in when they were down low brothers. And some people don't want to accept what they are, but then they would be the first to judge, but they do other things. So at the end of the day, just accept people for who they are. everybody do what they do and just love. If you can show love, that's it.
That's it.
And maybe that's all we need in the world, just a little bit of love and compassion.
All we need is love. That old rock. All we need is love, 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 love. What? All right.
That is all we need.
Singing with the fish, right?
Oh yes.
All right. And if you're gonna take it on a reggae version, Bob Marley, One Love. Let's get together.
There we
right.
go.
One love, one heart.
Yeah.
Right.
Feel love conquers all. Like,
I hear you. I hear you.
Love conquers all and everything.
One of the episodes that we're not even going to talk about, we're going to talk on you know what, we're going to bring some of this back on January the 18th. We talked on mental health, which is very near and dear to Pastor C. We're going to talk. We're actually going to touch back on some more episodes on January the 18th. We are coming back January the 18th. We've got one more clip, right? And this clip had to be shown because it just had to be. We just had to show this clip. It is. Did you cue the clip already? Did I give you the clip? Hold on. Let me make sure that I gave you the right clip to. And of course, I can't. Hold on. Let me find it here in my phone. All right. What clip is this? It is the August 10th clip. August 10th, right? If we're gonna call this the last clip of the night, right? Then it's got to be. You know, I just roll the August 10th clip, and we'll see. So anytime you saw me without hair before this, it was no. It was like what they call those. It was a mirage, right? And the backdrop to that, of course, there was Lisa and Evody, and somehow my hair came in, you know, and I had to talk about my flowing locks, right? So, you know what? That's how this show is going to end. I want to thank all our sponsors. I want to thank my panel and my guests. And I'm going to call out some names. Of course, on my left is Angel. On my right is Pastor C. We've had Pastor Thomas on the show. We've had Stephen D'Amelio from Pride. We've had Patrice Robinson on the show. Legal Shield, yep, company called Legal Shield. Patrice Robinson. We've had Tammy on the show. She called in. Of course, you saw Lisa. You saw Evody. We've had Evody's mom on the show. We've had one of the ladies from Ollie that was on the show. We've had Q on the show. Big shouts to, of course, Omar. Cannot not talk about Omar, the professor, right? Always prepared, right? Yeah. We've had Matthias Chona, otherwise known as DJ Fresh C. He actually came on our show when we were talking about, I think the first show we started to talk about politics and voting. He was there. I think, yes, that's the show we were on, right? Yeah. Matthias Chona was there. Big shouts to Fresh C. We've got a whole bunch of guests and stuff coming up in January. We are going to be off for 3 weeks, but we will be showing repeats. We're going to pick 3 good episodes. I think one of the three of the episodes that you saw clips on today, they'll be running in January. We're coming back fresh and new for January the 18th. To everybody that watches, thank you. We'll see you in January. Happy holidays, because the holidays are still going on. The New Year's is coming. Make your New Year's resolution. We'll tell you what our New Year's resolution is in January. Did you make a resolution? Did you make a resolution?
Yes.
Well, I made one. I ain't talking. We're going to talk this resolution in January. Of course, once again, I want to thank my partner, Team Evo, always doing some heavy lifting. Got to talk about the crew. Mr. Big T, otherwise known as Matthias, right? Sometimes Shamar can always, let me not leave out Sean. People, Sean has been a regular part of the crew. He's sick tonight. He's our other camera guy. Big shouts to Sean. Sean, I hope you listen to the show. I hope you're listening. You know, you should be listening since you're like the camera guy, right? Big shouts to the fill-in camera person. Nowadays, you got to be politically correct. You can't say, you're supposed to say camera person. Yeah, Miss Ashley McGuire, thank you for doing cameras. Thank you once again to everybody, our sponsors. Let me go over them again. The Ween Community Center, Up Like 7 Barbershop, the Fix Hair Salon, United Cuts, the ladies of Ali Interior Hair Design, out in Hamilton, of course, Soul Kitchen Radio, Big John. Big things for 2022. And last but not, nope, 2 more to go. Paranoid Bar and Grill, jigging the crew up there on Pond Mills, right? And finally, not finally, Rhythm Movements Community Association. I already picked on Mr. Brooks. Big shouts to Ashley out there and everybody in Ottawa. They just had an awards thing, they just had a little awards ceremony as well. So they're doing big things. See everybody in 2022. This is, we got the outro, you got the outro rolling. Yeah, this is like a fade to black and then the outro. So I'm gonna wave like, you remember when we used to wave and everybody used to wave? This is how we're doing it. Fade to black and blackout, right? Yeah, we out. Turn off the mic, we out.